This is my recap of last week trading Euro USD.
Last week on Sunday, this was my call for Euro USD. I said D15 longs until the 4-hour hits plus 60, and also weekly 1-hour longs, and the daily wave should also go back to plus 60. The main reason for me having the bullish bias is because the weekly wave is coming to cross up on zero, and we are trending above the AEMA. So usually when you have a wave crossing zero, you do get one pullback and then it continues thereafter. So I actually expect the weekly to break these highs to the left eventually. Okay, so I've just marked up the start of the week, and this line over here is the daily open price, and this is our 3-step entry method. We know that we are looking for long positions, so this is a D15 long pair up. So we want the 50-minute price to be below the daily open. It was barely below the daily open several times. And then we want the 50-minute wave to hit oversold, which is negative 60. It's happened twice. It would have touched there just barely. We can't enter right at the start of the day because the spreads are wide. So this is the isolated entry that we would be getting. You need a 15-minute candle then to body close above the AEMA. So that was the D15 entry initially at the start of the week. And I had said that I expect the 4-hour wave to go to plus 60. So I'm going to show you what happened here. Well, first let me show you the 1-hour time frame. Okay. So the 1-hour time frame should have been the take profit time frame in this case, but we had actually broken even. At that stage, we had taken partial profits. We had broken the rest of this trade to even. We were expecting the 4-hour wave. Let me just get rid of this. We're expecting the 4-hour wave to go to plus 60, and it just missed. So that was my ultimate take profit for that trade. It's just missed, okay? Just for interest sake, I do still expect the 4-hour wave to eventually come up here to plus 60. It's just taken the scenic route, unfortunately. It does happen. But anyhow, that was the first trade that we entered at the start of the week. Partial profits, the rest broke even. Wasn't expecting that to happen. Doesn't matter. We managed the trade really well. So let's look at the rest of the trades. And then I had also said that we're going to get a weekly 1-hour long. So that then becomes the weekly open price level, and then the weekly is paired up with the 1-hour. This is the 3-step entry method then. The 1-hour price has to be below the weekly open. The 1-hour wave has to hit the oversold level, negative 60. And then you have to have a 1-hour candle close above the AEMA. So we also entered this trade. Our entry on this trade was actually the zero cross, so the wave crossing zero, so it was a little bit higher up. We just weren't sure if we were going to get a much deeper divergence on the entry. So, and because we had that 4-hour drop that I wasn't expecting, so we entered this position a little bit later. It would have been, I'll just mark it up for you with 1 second. Okay, so that was the exact entry. That was the weekly 1-hour that we had caught. And then, because this was a weekly 1-hour, you can nest another D15 long into the weekly 1-hour. So we had a D15 long there. Partial profits broke even. We had the weekly 1-hour long, and then I'll just show you on the daily. I'm just going to mark that daily candle open up, go down to the 15-minute, and again, that is your daily open price. And after the wave is anchored, we had a close above the AEMA. It's more or less the same price level as our weekly 1-hour that we had entered. And I had called this D15 long in the TP Mint screener room. You can see the time that I called it. So that was 1:45 p.m. when the entry was. It stayed at that entry for quite a portion of time. And you can see in the TP screener, I called it just before that candle had closed. Okay, so far, that is how my Euro USD week looked. Took this trade, partial profits, rest broke even. We took this trade, called this trade, same entry as the weekly 1 hour anyhow. There is another trade that I did take on Euro USD that I did not announce, and I'm going to be breaking that down now and showing it to you. It links up with the video that I just released on TP Mint's channel, the how to trade profitably video. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. I took this trade based on what I'm teaching in that video as another lens on how to play our strategy. So first is what I'm going to show you. We'll start on the weekly, because I believe that we are going to get continuation longs on the weekly because it's trending above the 8 EMA. I'm expecting, as I said in the calls at the start of the video, when I showed you the call, I'm expecting the daily wave to go back to plus 60. Okay. When this 4-hour wave did not exit, I first long at the start of the week, and it came down to cross down on zero, I knew that this next long position had to be the long that I was waiting for. And it ended up being the weekly 1 hour long as well. I could see that the regular divergence was coming in on the 4 hour. That is a reversal pattern. The regular divergence on the 4 hour, an anchor break regular divergence will reverse the daily candle. And you can see it went on to do that. So with all of those expectations of where I thought the timeframes were going to be pushing each other, I nested this 4 hour move all the way down to a 15-minute time frame. So by that I mean I was looking for a window of reversal. That's why I'm saying you have to go and watch that video on the TP Mint channel on how to trade profitably. I went all the way down knowing that we were waiting for this weekly 1 hour long, which we did catch when the wave was crossing zero. I also knew that I could catch the very start of this move on this very first candle close, next candle open, and catch it right at the bottom by nesting it down to the 15-minute time frame. Because I'm waiting for a weekly 1 hour long, it's also put the divergence in on the 1 hour. The first entry that I caught was on this 15-minute wave crossing zero, and I'll show you the trade. Right, it was the absolute bottom of this move. All right. For the people who've watched that other video, you know all of the steps involved on how to catch that turning point. 15-minute wave is crossing up on zero, which means it's potentially a trend turning point on the 1 hour, which in this case it was. You had an almost equal size candle or an engulfing candle, this case equal size. First candle closed, second candle opened, and the yellow wave on the 1 hour, well, it didn't really have a significant bottom, but it's starting to come up as well. The candle itself is starting to cross up on the 8 EMA. The 15-minute wave crossing zero is already intrabar on this next candle. So I caught this turning point, this move, using that latest video teaching that I've put out on the TP Mint channel. Then we also caught this weekly 1 hour long. So the profit looks like a little bit less on the weekly 1 hour long because our stop was so much larger because we're swinging the structure. Okay. So the tighter your stop, obviously, the higher you are. That's why this position that I nested down to the 15-minute has a higher profit because the stop is tighter. Right? And then I called this D15 entry in the screener as well. So it was actually a really big week for Euro USD, even though if I just take you back to the weekly time frame, that is a tiny candle. Look at all the previous candles, how large they are. So even on a tiny weekly candle, like, you know, it's a doji, but still, you can get so much price movement, still be very profitable, focusing just on one pair. So yeah, guys, what I really wanted to show is this last week I traded Euro USD using both the D15 and the weekly 1 hour longs, and I also traded a move that I taught you in our latest video. I'll link it hopefully if I can to this video, so those of you who have not watched it can go and see that. I've showed you how to catch these turning points to again maximize your win rate and your R, just like I did in that trade. So those are the varieties of how we use the TP Mint strategy, showing you the actual trades we took this week, guys. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment. Thanks, guys.